Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celebrating Self. We are back today. As you already know, that our talk show brings to you examples and experiences of some beautiful women amongst us who have created their own way amidst the same confusion and the doubt that all of us go through. Today, we are back with an amazing lady, all the way from Lavasa. Currently, she is the senior counsel and life coach at Christ University, Lavasa. She is Miss Arpita Ghosh, a certified life coach and soft skills trainer. Her mission is empowering individuals and touching lives. She is an approved voice of AIR and DD Mumbai, a corporate filmmaker, a screenplay writer for teleserials. Her never say no attitude and learning has given her the title of being a poet, an author, a TEDx speaker, a solo traveler, journalist, and a spiritual seeker. She's a multiple award winner. And she says that her journey in the journey of life, we only have milestones to achieve. And here she is to motivate us all so as to go for our dream. Welcome, Arpita ma'am. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being here with us.
Thank you, Karanjot. In fact, it is really a pleasure to be here. And I'm really grateful to you for reaching out and giving me this opportunity to share myself and my life experiences with everyone out there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That is so humble of you. I would like to start off with how about you actually. Like, how did you achieve all that you have today? How did you face all that odds that come along the way? What has been your journey?
I think if I have to really look back into my 5 decades of life, it's been a very, very interesting journey. And whatever learning and whatever odds actually had to happen, I think that all happened in the first 3 decades of my life. Because after that, it was like, understanding, absorbing, processing, and then applying. So it's in the first 3 decades of life, in the growing years, that we all go through the growing pains. Uh, I'm the youngest of four, so it was much as I was pampered and taken care of. Yet at the same time, when the elder siblings, they grow up so fast, they move out, and you're kind of just left on your own. So then again, it's another journey. Trying to handle that entire thing of being on your own, fighting your own battles, and at the end of it, it was also a lot of self discovery which happened in those first 3 decades. When I talk about self discovery, it's about again discovering myself. Because that is where, I realized that, okay, there are so many things that I enjoy doing. Because writing was something which I used to do at that time also. It's like, okay, that can be my best friend. Whether you talk about it as journaling or whatever. So, whether it was writing those few lines which came out in the form of poetry, or whether it was like just expressing thoughts altogether, that happened. But somewhere there was no clarity about what is it that I want out of life. Education, I am so grateful to my parents for giving us the best of education. And I just moved, from school to junior college to graduation to post graduation. But after that, again, it was a big question mark. Where do I go? Because would you believe it if, when you listen to my introduction, and if I have to tell you, I am a postgraduate in physical chemistry. So it's like, what does chemistry have to do with all this, what I'm doing now? But yeah, I did my PG in chemistry, and then I was started, back at the same crossroad. What do I do next? And That's when I started exploring my own self. And I said, okay, what is it that I enjoy doing? I said, I enjoy traveling. I enjoy meeting people. So probably it's like, the sales and marketing, which I would really love to do. And that's how I got into it. But after a couple of jobs, I realized, no, this is not what I want to do. And that's when, again, there was another question mark, like, what next? And by then, we come from middle class, upper middle class family, and the pressures on all women at that age is about settling down in life. And it was not easy for me trying to tell my parents, well, I mean, you've given me such good education, let me explore life further. And I went ahead and explored further and realized that media was where my calling is. Because once I cleared my auditions in All India Radio and I did my first duty, sitting in that studio, like, behind the console, that's when I realized, this is where I want to be. Then there was no looking back. So explore the entire platform like radio, television, filmmaking, ad filmmaking, copywriting, journalism. And in fact, I acted in a film too, Mumbai Central. So, but there were a lot of challenges in the media also. I mean, we all know media is associated with a lot of glamour, but there's a lot of hard work too. And it takes a lot to be a part of such a competitive world. Like, so again, as a woman, fighting your way, being at par, earning your respect, all these things I think I learned during my media days. And at the same time, in my personal life, it was a constant battle with my parents because they wanted me to settle down. It's somehow like I was not ready to settle down. And finally, when I did give in, also somehow, कभी सामने वाला ने ना बोला और कभी हमने ना कर दिया. And today, when I look back, I think I'm just glad because destiny had other plans for me. So yeah, it's been quite a journey, just fighting all those odds. But I kept pushing. I kept pushing myself. I kept exploring myself.
Wow,
So
your
yes.
whole journey is like you have not missed any sort of exploration. When whichever thing you felt that yes, I can go for it, you did it, you experienced that field, and wow, hats off to you. I don't have any words to tell you. Like it really takes efforts to think about switching from one field to another because like I can
True.
imagine I'm also a science student, I'm a biotechnologist, and even I'm a writer
Okay.
now. So I can completely relate to that it is not always what you think that is the right track. Sometimes walking on the same track
Mhm.
you feel that I'm not comfortable in this, I need an off road. Right,
True.
so
Very true.
that is
And
true.
it's also about, Karanjot, listening to your heart. Because every time I was at a place where something was not, like making me feel comfortable or was just not giving me the right kind of vibes, I decided to move on. And at this point, I would also like to say I am very grateful for the kind of support that I got from my family in terms, of my siblings and my parents. Because had they not stood back and supported me, it would have been very difficult for me to do the entire journey. Because then the वो बोलते हैं ना कभी मजबूरी के लिए हम नौकरी ले लेते हैं.
Right.
So because sometimes it does happen, much as we want to explore our passion or follow our passion, but we are held back with certain responsibilities. So I was lucky in that area where my family stood by me.
Wow,
So
that's
yes, but I still say follow your heart. Support will come.
exactly very truly said. As you already told about, like you have been through certain situations where you felt like you were pushed back, you could not like just go for it. There were some hurdles on the way. So, did you face any sort of doubt within yourself, like some sort of anxiety or like any sort of situation, any incident particularly, which you can explain to us, like you had a doubt and you overcame that? Would you like to share?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, the major all those incidents came again right from the age of 18 to 30 was where I experienced maximum amount of call it self doubt, call it challenges about the self or whatever it is. And at that particular time, I think one would also say to an extent there was self esteem somewhere, there was a little bit of low self esteem, which again is connected to the self doubt, because my dad was a critical father. Like for him, no matter how well you did, it was never enough. And I think that would make me, again question like, is it good enough? Like, am I good enough here? And then I also realized that no, from where is this coming? And that pushed me, or rather, that led me to believe more in myself. I said, no matter what people tell me, but what is it that I believe about myself? What, because I know myself best, I am aware of my talents, I'm aware of my feelings. The other person does not really know me. So it's okay for anyone and everyone to say what they want, but what is it that I truly want? And knowing that it was not easy, because we all know, like I said, media is a glamour world. I mean, I had an opportunity to actually direct a teleserial, but again, the asking for it was too much. I said, I believe in my talent. And if I believe in my talent, maybe I may get an opportunity later, but I don't have to, compromise on my principles and values. And that again is something for everybody who's listening. We must know where to put our foot down, where to draw the line, where to say no. Because compromising on principles and values, I still recollect when, I was appreciated for we used to write those two episodes, pilot episodes, ke liye, you write those two episodes and all. And I had this meeting with the producer. And then he was like in his own way expressing that he was wanting something more. He gave me examples of the current, the television at that time. Sorry, not the current, but tabhi we had Tara serial ka jo tha, Vinta Nandan and Raman Kumar. He kept giving me their examples, and so I said, I don't know about anyone else, but I am very clear about what I want. If you like my work, well, let's talk about this, but nothing more than that. And when I put my foot down and I walked out of that room, believe me, I felt so light. I felt so good because somewhere I was being honest to myself and I knew I was not compromising on my principles and values. So that was one incident. I mean, I also had an opportunity for a Bollywood film. We had this sitting with that time Sahara Films had come in. So I had gone with another producer for the narration also. But again, story was liked and everything, but the other dot that follows. And again, I had to say, all right, whenever the time comes, it will happen. But I am not going to say yes just because I want that limelight. In fact, so much so, what happened was I still recollect that producer had told me, Arpita ji, आपके आंखों में ना मुझे वो जुनून नहीं दिखता है. And I just smiled because heart of hearts, I just wanted to tell him कि आपको क्या लगता है कि उस जुनून के वजह से मैं इतनी अंधी हो जाऊंगी कि I won't realize that what I'm doing and I'll just go ahead and achieve what I have to irrespective of where I'm going. So again, we should have the clarity of what we want, but also have the clarity of at what cost we want. I think that is very important.
Ma'am, your answer has made me feel even more like good about having you over here. Because it takes a lot to actually say no to things which you have thought of, which you have dreamt of. And being a woman, sticking to your principles, sticking to your instincts, it means a lot, be it your professional life and even standing against your family also, like feeling everything but still not being able to understand, not being able to express what you feel. It is something that most of the times we do fall off. We tend to um we feel weak at that duration. So hats off to you for doing all that you have done, and for being sticking on the principles, and also showing us the path that even we need to understand our own selves, what to do, what to
Okay.
choose,
Yeah.
and where to say no.
No,
So
Karanjot, why I'm stressing on this is because I'm meeting a lot of the young ladies and young girls where they are not realizing it now. But I know sooner or later it's going to affect them, And at least, see, we never had that kind of guidance probably. But at least if they are watching, they are listening, and if they can take a moment to pause, reflect on their actions, it will really be a lot of beneficial for them, to lead their life in a better way.
true,
So, yeah.
absolutely true. This is super. Ma'am, you just talked about like young girls and females. I would like to ask you, like, you have been a life coach, you have a vast experience also. So, how has been your experience about women? Like, how do they look up to self belief and dreams?
Okay. So when my interaction with all the young, and when I'm talking about the young ones, I'm talking from the age group of 18 to 38, 40. So they are the real young ones who are pursuing their careers, studies, relationships. And then again, you have careers and relationship. And then you have some who are only into the family relationship and wanting to look at something else. But what remains common with all these young ladies, girls, whatever I can say, is again that belief in the self. सपने बहुत बड़े देखते हैं हम, but at the same time we feel that somebody else has to help me in realizing my dreams.
Right.
Dreams are my dreams and I can realize it on my own. This need to seek validation from outside. Like if I'm looking good, I first need to look into the mirror and accept that, yes, I am looking good. Because if I don't feel good about myself, how can somebody else, appreciate me? And this is something which I have been talking, whether it is to these 18-year-olds, the 20s, or the 30s, somewhere the other person, be it their friends, be it the boyfriend, be it the husband, be it family, has managed to, make them believe that, look, you are just here and don't think of, overstepping your limit. So it has taken a lot to make all these ladies realize that you have tremendous potential within. You have the power of doing things for yourself, and you need to claim that power back rather than giving somebody else the power of making you feel bad about yourself. I mean, there was one particular marital case. The lady is married, and she was totally wo tuti hui thi, so much so that and she said that this is all because he has constantly made me believe that I'm good for nothing. I don't look good. I am not good at anything at all. What am I going to do? So she was so shattered, and for a woman like that, to get her to regain her confidence in herself, to make her again, like stand in front of the mirror, look at herself, appreciate herself, believe in herself. So it has taken a lot of work. It's taken time, but that is where we tend to fall short. Constantly seeking validation, because even something as simple as, dressing up. Yes, वो बोलते हैं, like, I mean, जो भी है, like, you dress up, you want to look good, you want. But there are times we need to look good for ourselves also. Every time we can't keep looking good for somebody else. Because खुद की नजर में हम कहाँ हैं? I think that's what matters. So that is where these young ones are. And it's taken a lot to work, even relationship issues. And most of the relationship issues come because of all these baggages that we carry within ourselves. Like, the need to please the other just to be loved. I think that is something, it's a myth, and we really need to break that. Like, to be loved, one does not have to please the other. Because if a person loves you, a person will love you for what you are and accept you as a whole. Because everything said and done, whether it is you, whether it is me, we are all like, I mean, none of us are perfect. None of us are God over here. If I have my goodness, I also have a shadow side to me. I also have my own shortcomings. And anybody who loves me has to love me as a whole, as a package, inclusive of my shortcomings as well as my goodness. So the moment we realize these, I think life will really be a lot more beautiful.
Very truly said, ma'am. Each and every word was truly relatable. Actually, this is our problem nowadays, and that is the reason that we are here at Celebrating Self. We need to reclaim our relationship with our own selves. Before being
True.
something for somebody, we have to be for our own selves. Even we are an individual. And the more you understand about yourself, as it is said, no, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So this stands true. This is a fact. If we try to inculcate, if we actually feel that, otherwise, you very truly said, we keep on looking for validations, we keep on looking for somebody, just one that person, somebody who just tells us yes, that is right, and then we'll be free to walk on that path. Otherwise we'll keep on doubting. And this is, I think, the problem of every woman. What I have been through, what I have seen. So it is like,
Mhm.
it takes efforts to understand that, but the solution is very simple. You just need to understand your own self. No.
Absolutely. In fact, I would also like to share with you, if there's one thing which really, like, and I think which can benefit everybody else also, which really kept me going, or which really got me out of all those challenging phases in my life. That is that one line which I read in the Gita, where Krishna tells Arjun, lift yourself by yourself.
Wow.
And it is so true, like, because jab tak, like, even when I have my counseling sessions, yes, I am there as a counselor, as a life coach, whatever it is. But unless the other person from within does not take that initiative to help himself or herself, no matter how much of external support I try to give, it's not going to help. Like, so lift yourself by yourself has been very powerful, uh, and I'm sure it will be helpful for everyone else too.
Wow, that is truly awesome. Act, not only plan, but act as well, right? This is truly great. Ma'am, now I'm going to ask you one question that we ask everybody, especially because this is based on women, and we want that everybody should benefit, should get something, so as to adapt, so as to actually act on themselves, as you told a few moments later. I mean, a few moments before. Uh, what is that one habit that you would like every woman to adapt so as to believe in herself? and not look for any sort of external validation or any, and not be covered by any doubt. So what is that one habit for
Oh,
that self belief?
all right. So, what I would like to tell every woman is when you wake up in the morning, I think as a woman, just visualize any of the devis or goddesses. Okay. And look at yourself also. We cook, we work, we sow, we nurture, we care for. And if you look at the goddess, how many pairs of hands does she have? So there is this goddess within. Like what we need to remember is that through the day we play multiple roles of a mother, a wife, a sister, a friend, an employee, a teacher, whatever roles we are playing. But behind all these roles that we play, there exists this woman. And this woman, if she is fueled up in the morning, she can take care of all these roles, which means we need to make some time, like what you call as me time. So when you wake up in the morning, just 10 minutes, even if you can do 10 minutes in a day, more than enough. 10 minutes, whether it is having your leisure cup of tea, whether it is going for a walk, whether it is listening to your favorite music. Because I believe, जैसे ATM में हम जाते हैं, the moment you need money, you just go and you withdraw money. But we can withdraw that money from the ATM because we deposit money in our account. Likewise, I need to create an ATM over here. And I can only give because as a woman, I know the multiple roles that we play. We always say, I want to give everyone happiness. I can only give happiness if I put some happiness into me. Begin your day by depositing 10 minutes of happiness into you, and I'm sure you'll be able to take care of your 23 hours, 50 minutes with a smile on your face.
Wow, this is really amazing. Seriously. Actually, I have been feeling this, that we females actually have a divine power if we feel, because we play multiple roles. Uh we are super multitaskers. And in that, I think we don't feel, we take every task so nicely, we do every role, we do full justice, and uh, with full gracefulness every job is done, be it any female. And that is the best part, that we need to celebrate ourselves, we need to tell ourselves, come on, you're good.
Yeah, very
This
true.
is
Very true.
amazing, amazing. Ma'am, it was a wonderful session. I really loved each and every part of it. And the way you have expressed yourself, the way you have just told about, I know today I am fumbling and I am doubting. I'm not able to be as I should be, but it is because of Nora, because of your answers, that I am truly mesmerized today. And with this,
Thank
the pleasure is all mine, ma'am. With this, we don't end the session. We have to stay here for some more time, because now is the time for a rapid fires round. So, are you ready for that?
you. Okay.
So, I'll be asking you 5 questions, and you have to be very quick in answering them. All right.
All
So,
right.
are you ready?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
So, one of
I didn't do any homework on this.
now is some
Chalo, it will be
time
fun.
for
This is
class.
almost like a Karan Johar show. Huh?
Huh?
I said this is almost like a Karan Johar show. Like, I mean, he
Oh,
has that, not the rapid fire question.
but I am Karanjot Kaur, and we are here for different cause. So, my first
Yeah.
question, one of your weirdest dreams.
Okay. My weirdest dream is, like being on the beach, starry night, full moon,
Okay.
and just sitting and watching that shimmering waves coming in, just listening to that soothing sound. feeling that sand. And of course, it will be nice if there is a romantic partner too.
Oh wow, that's so true. That's so honest reply. I love that. Now, what my
Mhm.
next question is, what is your best work accomplishment?
Best work accomplishment, Karanjot, frankly speaking, that becomes a little difficult for the simple reason that, like I told you, I've worked in so many different areas. My satisfaction, if I have to really see, it comes when somebody comes back to me and tells me what I said or what I did for them has made a difference in their life. So if I have to look at it that way, बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है ये क्वेश्चन आंसर करने के लिए
Actually, I
because
love this question
because each
because of
one
this.
is, like I said, each one is unique and special in their own way. So I can't really say the best work accomplished. It's not my work of art or writing that I can talk about. So
Yes,
difficult
that's
to
why
answer.
I put up this question because I knew that you have been in so many fields. So maybe there is something that you can be like, yes, this is one thing. And somewhere in my heart, I knew that you will be doubtful because the aura that I'm seeing in you, I'm sure you have a great list of accomplishments. So it is not an easy task to answer in just one answer in one line. True, very nice. And my next question is, what is your deepest fear?
Deepest fear, great question, Karanjot. If you had to ask me this question maybe some 25, 30 years ago, I would have been able to answer. But, वो बोलते हैं जब से जिंदगी की समझ आ जाती है, when you understand life, death, life after death and everything, you kind of overcome all the fears. But because, I mean, you talk about fear of death, fear of loneliness, fear of darkness. I think I have worked on all those fears. So today, like if I have to look at the deepest fear also, I don't know. I'm just, in fact, when all this Corona COVID jab se aaya hai, one thing with me, I always ask myself whenever like ye sab hota hai. So I said I am willing to just drop down even at this moment. So there's nothing that holds me back. There's nothing that brings that fear. Yeah.
Ma'am, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
So,
But
this,
like I'm saying, Karanjit, it is now.
right, I
पहले
can
अगर like
understand. Experience, life teaches us a lot, provided we become a good student, we become the learner of it, right?
that's very
So,
important.
my next question is, what is your key to living a good life?
My key to living a good life: be true to yourself.
Hi, so sweet.
Because no, Sachi, I mean, the moment we are true to ourselves, we are honest with ourselves, we feel so much more lighter, we feel so much more better. There's nothing to hide, no pretensions. Life is so cool. I'll just give you one simple example. The other day, there was a situation where, I was supposed to be with a group of friends. And for some reason, I could not be with them because there was something else that required my attention. So I told them, I'm sorry, I cannot come. And what I got to hear was, ditcher and everything. But मुझे एक बार भी बुरा नहीं लगा for the simple reason that yes, I would have loved to be there, enjoy myself, but there was something which was of a higher calling and which really required me to be there. So being true to myself, to where I really want to be, was what mattered to me. Because most of us get caught in the simple thing like because we don't want to be excluded or because people kuch bolenge, we land up doing things sometimes. But that is why I feel just being true to the self makes a lot of difference.
Great, great. Ma'am, if your life was a book, what would you love to title it? You must
Well,
ask this question a lot.
I'll tell you. Yes, yes, yes. I will tell you because when today, though I am the co-author of about nine or 10 books, but believe me, when I first started off writing, and I wanted to write this particular book in 1999 when I was in the US for 6 months, I started off with Maya, that which is not. That's the title of the book that I would like to write on my life.
Wow. Wow. Actually, I don't have any words to express. Like, wow, I know none of the answers I had thought that you have taken all the questions into another level. And that's why I say I just need to hats off to you, nothing else. The way you take up everything with such, like, there is a form of poise and calmness in whatever you are saying, whatever you are dealing with, the way you are living your life. It is actually visible through your words, through your answers. And I wish that even we all have that life where we can be such poised and such humble and clear with whatever we want to do. Seriously.
It can be achieved, Karanjot. Believe me, it can be. It can be, like, it's nothing is non-achievable. It's all a constant work in. I think we are all a constant work in progress. So the more we keep working on ourselves, I'm sure we all will be there.
Absolutely.
It is
Thank you
possible.
so much. We just need your blessings and keep on guiding us, keep on motivating us with your words of wisdom so that we can actually create a better relationship with our own self so as to lead a life of some happiness and achievements, I would say. No?
Yes, and a life of love too.
Absolutely. It is like,
Because love is not just about, romantic love. I mean, that's one thing which I keep telling everybody. Ye pyar ke rang hai hazar, like. So experience that love.
right. This is awesome. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us. Thank you so much for sharing your life experiences and helping us. I'm sure many of us would relate to it. We would have some takeaways through which we can actually create a good life for ourselves. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we'll meet up with our listeners and our viewers with in another episode with some other people so as to motivate you, inspire you, and help you to create a good relationship with yourself. Till then, bye.